Up in D.C., they're talking about the Target store, the data breach that surprised everyone during Christmas. Joining us on 710 KURV, Fox News, is Hank Weinbloom from D.C. How you doing, Hank? Good to talk to you.
I'm doing fine. Good morning.
So a lot of finger pointing, I understand, between Target people and banking people. So is there anything substantive coming from the talks?
Well, a little bit. First of all, there was finger pointing, as you pointed out, but there was a little bit of blame accepting. The Target's chief financial officer actually said, "We're deeply sorry that this occurred," but he did take some heat, and the company did, for taking several weeks to even know that there was a problem. In fact, they were told about it by the Justice Department. It's not like they figured it out.
Oh my!
But and then they said, "Okay, it's fixed. It's all done." But it wasn't. There were still problems. And, in fact, my wife just yesterday got a letter from her bank credit card company saying, yep, there's been a problem. Your card's been used at a Target, et cetera. And so the problem seems to still exist.
Yeah, I missed that. I thought it was Target that discovered the whole problem. So it's the feds who went door knocking with them and said, hey, you got a problem here. Your data's being breached.
Right, that's what happened, and it happened at the worst possible time, that period right between Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Has anyone said in these hearings that the problem is fixed, nothing to worry about, nothing to
Oh, not at all. I mean, now they know that they're aware of the problem, but there is a fix. They know what the fix is. It's new technology that exists. They have it in Europe, but it doesn't exist here. It's changing how your credit card works. They would install they call it a chip and pin system. So instead of that little metal strip that's on the back of your credit card, there would be an embedded chip in it, which is harder to hack and more secure. And then instead of signing your name when you finish the purchase, you would put in a PIN number like you would at the bank, and that's supposedly better. And they do have that in place in Europe, but it has to be put in place here, and it costs money, and the question is, who's going to pay for it?
Hank, Tim Sullivan here. I guess following up on that, why does Europe have something like that ahead of us, considering the technology that we have? I mean, we're able to do something like that, right?
Oh, sure. The technology is totally there. It's a cost issue, and if you talked about the finger pointing, the retailers are saying, yeah, sure, we'll do this, but we're not going to pay for it. We want the banks that issue the credit cards to pay for it. And the banks are saying, well, yeah, but, you guys are the people who benefit from this. You're the retailers, so you should pay for it.
Who paid for it in Europe?
I don't know. I think probably the government.
Yeah, I was going to guess.
Yeah.
Well, how much is that?
It'll cost a lot. I mean, Target said we'll do what we have to do to prevent this from happening again. Look, they took a big hit on this. I mean, they're not the only ones. I mean, Neiman Marcus was involved in Michael's stores, but those chains are much smaller compared to Target. I mean, after Walmart, they're just the second biggest chain in America, and this hurts them. But what's going to end up happening is possibly that consumers will have to pay some of this for the security.
In the end, that's the way it seems to always be. So, Hank, who is to blame, or who is most to blame here?
Well, obviously the hackers are the most to blame.
Yeah.
And the sad thing is nobody knows for sure, but we've been living in this computer age for a couple of decades now, and it seems like whatever technology is put in, the hackers give them a couple of months or a year, and they'll be one step ahead, and they'll figure out how to get around that too.
Yep.
Are we still vulnerable?
Sure, I would think so. Maybe not right this minute for right that thing, but I'll be honest with you. If I go into Target and I do, I'm gonna pay cash.
Yeah, there we go. That's what was the name of that new fancy schmancy program in Europe? Chips and Dip, Chippendale. What was it?
Chips and Pins. Yeah.
Chips and Pins.
Right, a computer chip in the card, and the pin. You enter your PIN number for security.
Okay, we'll see if they bring that over here. And as you guys said, yes, we, the consumer, we're the ones who are going to be footing the bill eventually, per transaction type of thing.